This weekend I built 2 sensory tables. Sensory tables hold bins that contain activities like rice, beans, kinetic sand. Our table also doubles as a Lego table, so the bins hold my boys' Legos. These are really popular in Facebook Marketplace, and I get a lot of orders for them, so I try to batch out a couple every month or so. Here I'm drilling holes in each end of the wood that I pre-cut for the frame. I'm using a Craig jig to drill those holes. Some woodworkers have really strong opinions about pocket holes, and my belief is if your joinery is safe and sturdy, then it doesn't really matter how you're doing it. Some people think pocket holes are less sophisticated than other types of joinery, and the truth is that I do what works best for me on each project. So here I'm assembling the top. This will have a crossbar across it and hold the bins, 1 bin on either side of the crossbar. Now I'm building this shelf that will go underneath. This will have crossbars all the way across it so that you can put extra bins or other things. I always try to make my products as useful as possible. And when you have kids, you can never have enough storage. So I put shelves on the bottom of my sensory tables. Here I'm installing the crossbar. I learned on my last batch of these that I was cutting the crossbar too thick, and so it wasn't, the bins weren't fitting properly in the sensory table. So here I'm adjusting the bandsaw to rip down a little piece off of this 1x2. And now it's time to drill a ton more pocket holes. I'm going to do this for the crossbars first. Clamp it to put it in place, and then use the pocket hole screws to secure that crossbar. And triple checking to make sure the bins fit. I just get the bins from IKEA, and when I sell these sensory tables, they come with 2 bins and lids. Now I'm going to do the same process for the second sensory table. It's so much easier for me when I batch these in groups of 2 or more. I usually do 4, but I only had 2 orders on my wait list this time, so I only did 2 in this batch. Here the intern, my lovely husband, is questioning my craftsmanship, for which I tell him to leave me alone, and I go back to work. I'm measuring out these crossbars, and he actually was helping me by drilling the pocket holes off camera. When I'm installing them, I use a spacer board so they're evenly spaced, or as even as possible. I have to get creative on the last ones because they don't fit exactly evenly. You'll see the intern come out and check on me several times to see if I need any help. I did end up sending him to the hardware store to get me more pocket hole screws because I ran out. There he goes. I'm giving him instructions. I even sent him with the package, the empty package, so that he knew exactly what he was looking for. Now that shelf is looking good, and I'm going to do the same process again for the second shelf. But my intern had gone to pick up screws, so I had to drill these holes myself. These Craig jigs are super handy, and once you learn how to incorporate pocket holes, the amount of projects you can make on your own just explodes. It was one of the gateways to me really learning to love to build was learning how to do pocket holes. Here's my second shelf. Sanding it nice and smooth. And now I'm ready to install the legs. So I just use, again, pocket holes in the inside of the frame to attach the legs. And then I also use some brad nails just to secure it. This is the worst part, is getting the shelf installed evenly. Had to have that intern come out and help me because I didn't have enough hands to do that part. Day 2, just doing some finishing touches. I needed to put the second table together. Needed an extra set of hands. And the kiddos came out to help too. And now I'm just giving both tables a really good sanding. One of the customers ordered this for their daycare, and another one was a mom who wanted to make sure all the corners were rounded and there weren't any harsh corners. So I spent a ton of time sanding these tables, a lot more than I normally do. And then I'll install hooks on the sides and they'll be ready to go.